Hello everyone, today we're going to go through and talk about the importance of setting up your second base in Palworld, and essentially how to go through and take advantage of having two different operations going at once. Now that being said, we are going to have to go through and make a bit of a journey to actually make that happen here with the progression guide. If you've been following along so far, we did just go through and defeat Zoe and Griswold here, and we unlocked the PAL Expedition Station. So prior to heading out, the moment you have the opportunity, make sure you send out all your pals so they can go through and get to work, because it's going to be about half an hour's worth of work while you're gone and actually exploring. Now for our second base, I do have a strategic location picked out, so I want to go through and show you here. We're going to actually fast travel all the way back over to the settlement, and then I'm going to bring you back as we travel all the way over to this location. Alright, so I actually brought you back, and I am not there yet, only because we found a Vixie just outside of the village. We've been trying for quite a bit now to find these little fellas, and they are always quite the hassle to go through and find. So we're just going to go through and try and capture these, as they're going to play a significant role in actually being able to allow us to go through and basically passively farm quite a few spheres. Alright, I did make a small little pit stop here to actually take out this bounty. If you've been watching so far, we've actually gone through and defeated them twice already. But if you're on a journey, just take the opportunity to go and actually defeat the Alpha Pals or these battles multiple times, as they do drop valuable resources, and you do want to go through and actually take advantage of having them a little bit later on. And if you catch them instead of defeating them, only for the simple fact that you'll have the ability to actually get the rewards both when you capture them and then when you butcher them. But if they are stubborn, then just make sure you shoot them in the kneecap, and then you won't have any concerns, because, yeah, they're obviously just not being very cool. Alright, now I've made it down to this little encampment here, so we're going to go through and just take out these thugs and potentially get a new pal. I'm not sure who this is. It's Mal Christ. I believe we actually might have Mal Christ. Where are these thugs going? Clearly they are up to no good, so we're just going to go through and actually take the pal, and then we will head on out. And then we do have a Dire Hal as well who wants to party, so let's go through and hit him with a sphere here. There he is, and then we will be on our way. Looks like, yeah, we did have a Malchrist already. That's going to be the second one. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. He's in the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to this kind of area here. As it kind of slowly decreases in elevation, you will find a river. And the river will go directly across to the next island here, as you can see right here. This is kind of going to be what it looks like. The fast travel point for we went was over here before. I'm going to head to this area only because I'm hoping, if we get lucky, we can go through and spawn that meteor drop a second time. As anytime we get the meteor drop, like I mentioned before, it will go through and give you oil, a new weapon schematic, and a guaranteed item that's going to give you a stat boost. And there's also going to be a red chest here on the way, so that's not too bad. I actually forgot the red chest was here, so let's just go through and grab that. And we got an old bow schematic. I'm not going to bother picking that up. Actually, you know what? We can draft items later. Let's pick it up, actually. I probably should have put away all my items at base as well. Let's go through and just toss the horns out, and we will pick that up. We will need to head back in just a little bit to go through and actually clear out our inventory. But right down there is where the meteorite drops, so I'm going to go through and get down there, and hopefully it spawns. We'll do the encampment first, and then we will head to the meteorite drop. And then, yeah, let's do that. Let's head over here and see what level these guys are. Level 10, we could definitely deal with that. But let's use our pal this time, so we're not doing all the work. Oh, he just barbecued him. Let's catch him, and then we'll go through and hit these guys as well. I think he's got a grenade. Let's backstep that grenade here. Oh yeah, look at the amount of damage this guy does. Foxbox is doing absolute work. And I'm going to miss. There we go. I think he can't hit them because of the angle. He's stuck behind the spike, so we'll just go through and toss that out. They're completely obliterated. And, oh, would you look at that, a Vixie. And then a Kelpsie would also not be a bad idea for Pal Spheres. This is another great pal here in the region. We'll just go through and get one more arrow off, and then we'll toss out the sphere. I don't think we have any Tanzis, so we're just going to farm up all these pals real quick. Well, we have some, we just don't have enough, or a lot, I should say. Let's hit this here. We'll hit one sphere here, one sphere there. Hit the Dire Hell in the back. We're catching all the pals, and a sphere there. The Kelpsie got out again. This is one stubborn Kelpsie. Alright, there we go. Oh, this Kelpsie's mad too. They're all mad. But look at all the experience coming in here. That Kelpsie is still not captured. Why are you being so stubborn? Huh? Why must you guys be like this? I'm going to use a bigger sphere on you because I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to shoot this one because it's being annoying. And then we'll use a bigger sphere on this one here. Hopefully that captures it. And they'll hit the Jolt Hog. I think the Jolt Hog might die, actually. There we go. And we'll go through and capture that. I hope the other one ended up in the sphere. It did not. We're going to use the Giga Sphere here. And hopefully we don't have any more problems. So now here's going to be the drop. So we're going to go through and help ourselves to the contents. And as I mentioned, check it out. We've got a feathered cap here. another accessory, oil, and 4 more gigaspheres. I don't think we actually have room for any of this, so we'll have to go through and drop a few items before we can actually access that. But I'm going to head back to base into a quick little depot of all our items here, then I'll be right back with you. Alright, so I just went through and I made my way back, and I realized that there's a Alpha Pal and a bounty we haven't done here with a fast travel location, and there's an enemy encampment. So there's quite a few things we could do to actually help our progression here. So I figured we'd go through and take this out before we head over to the new base. Now, I don't have anything that's going to be great against Azarobi, so we're kind of just going to have to go for it and hope for the best. Fire is obviously not ideal. I don't even know if Foxsparks can attack in the water. Can Chillet? I don't know if Chillet can do anything. This might be kind of a challenging fight. I may have to lure the Azarobi actually over to the actual land here. Chillet seems to be doing just fine. Chillet did take that damage. Yeah, if I can get over to this area here, we might be in a better spot. That way the pals are not constantly in the water. And as long as I can dodge the attacks. I don't want to hit that Celeray and make the fight even harder here for ourselves. So we're going to go through... Yeah, we're not doing a lot of damage. Definitely not doing a lot of damage. But getting frozen, keeping it still so I can land a headshot is a big deal. Maybe I'll wait for it to attack like this. There we go. I think this is it. I think this is where I need to throw a sphere. So we're going to try and get this capture here. And I hope... Oh, that actually hit me. That's really brutal. That's unfortunate. Oh, yeah, it actually worked. Cool. So we are able to go through and take down Azarobi here. And our armor is damaged. Oh, no, we did lose it. So the armor is fully good to go. So we're going to go through and try and take down Turncoat, who should be just over past these thugs here. I was trying to avoid fighting them, but I think we might have to duke it out. We'll just toss out Fox or Chillet. Chillet can deal with them. Oh, yeah, he just is going to demolish them. And then maybe the Dire Howl will need to take out... Oh, boy. Oh, God. I'll try and capture Dire Howl. And then let's head over here. Turncoat should be just down here in the base. There he is. I don't want to take his bullets to the face, because he might actually hurt. We got Work Slave on that one. That was nice. Let's go through and throw out... I think we'll throw out Foxsparks. Let him focus the enemy, and then I'll go through and use his harness here. Oh, yeah, we do a lot of damage. I'm not worried at all. Come here, buddy. Come with me. Can you get my arms? Let's go barbecue this fella. Yeah, we're good. And he should be melted. He is super low level. Yeah, he takes a lot of damage. Right on. So that was super easy. Cool. And then with that being said, let's go through and we could probably just take out these Daydream here. Might even be able to get captures on them as well, if we can not kill them entirely. Yeah, there's one. And I don't know where the other... Oh, the other one's in the ball. We killed the one. Okay. So with that being said then, let's actually head back over here and start working our way down towards the next fast travel location. Alright, I made it back to the fast travel location, and apparently our friends over here were actually getting attacked by these thugs here. So we're going to go through and help them out, the arrogant pal critic. Hopefully Foxsparks does not accidentally hit them, because I don't want that. That would be bad. This guy's a high level. Maybe if I can just shoot him once, and then he could deal with them the rest of the way here. Not trying to fight. Here, I'll help you out. We're good? We're good? We're cool? Yeah, we're cool. Alright. So let's head over here, and then... I came this way for a reason outside of the fast travel location. I'll show you that here in just a moment. What I'm looking for is just over there. That's actually really scary. There's a lot of Relaxaurus, but we are looking for our little cow friend here, the Masarina, as they're going to go through and give us milk, which we will need actually for our breeding farm setup. So let's try and get this capture. We will definitely need this. Oh, hey, where are you going, bud? Can you stop running? I don't want to kill you here. There we go. Yeah, we 100% will need these guys in the ranch to actually get breeding going, which is a huge, huge component of actually making some pretty good progression towards the late game. It's basically impossible. I would say pretty darn close to impossible to do the highest tiers of content without breeding like crazy. So we'll definitely want to breed. Wow, he got 4 different passives. That's kind of crazy. We're going to avoid... Well, he's level 20. Oh, this is a Relaxaurus nest. Ooh. Ah, yikes. They've got some large eggs, and they're probably one of them. But, oh, that's rough. That is a lot of Relaxaurus. I don't know if we could do that. But let's just try, I guess. Yeah, go ahead, bud. Get in there. Do something. Go hit them. Hit these guys. They're literally standing right there. Hit them. There you go. Okay, I'm going to pull him back, actually. So I don't want everybody else attacking him. I'm going to try and dodge this. Oh, they're all mad. Oh, it's scary. That's scary. Go, buddy. Go, go, go. Use your AoE abilities. I need to dodge everything or I'm toast. I need to find... Oh, he's dead. Okay, this was a terrible decision. We're going. I thought that maybe he could have taken out a couple of them, but I was wrong. Alright, we are back. But since I had to go through and put Foxbarks away to actually revive, I did go through and grab Surfing here. Now we can actually go through and demonstrate the Surfing to this guy and take care of the quest. Alright, and now we do actually have his harness as well, so we've been able to go through and swim to the location that we want to actually head to. And that's going to be passing the actual Alpha Pal Bushi. We'll come back to that. We probably could do it, to be honest. But I do feel like we've already spent a little bit of time here kind of just exploring. So we're going to go through and just hop out of the water and head to our location. He kind of walks weird. Oh, did he just hit the crevice? He sure did. Sorry, dude. My intent was not to actually attack you, but I guess that's going to be the case. And he is toast. So our base location is actually pretty close to where we're located here. Let's go through and grab a bunch of these spheres. Now, this area, for the most part, is pretty chill. There's nothing too crazy, minus this guy up here, this level 31 univolt. So we want to head to this location over here. Let me just pass this Eikendeer, and we're going to climb up here to avoid a fight with that guy. So you can set up here. If you don't want to be raided, or if you prefer to have less raids, this area up here is far safer. Plenty of access to wood, if you didn't already have like a logging area set up. You also have got some berries up here as well. It is a very quiet area, and the only pal spawn that you will have up here is you'll have one right here, which is going to be this ruby here. If you set up your pal box, that spawn disappears, and then the only other spawn will actually be just down there, next to where the rubble pile is at. Those are the only two pal spawns in the area. So this area up here is really safe, but we're going to actually head down here to this location instead, only because this area down here, even though it is slightly more open and exposed, this area right here has a skill fruit tree. We're going to incorporate this into our base. That way we can actively start farming fruit here ASAP. Because farming fruit is definitely handy. As you could tell in the last video, we got lucky with that fruit we were able to go through and acquire. So we're going to head over to the skill fruit tree. And this is right here is where our base is going to be set up. It's just on the edge right over there. We also have pretty easy access to waterways with the Serpent, or we could fly. And for the most part, we're actually pretty kind of centered in the map as well. So yeah, I really like this spot. For the first location, by Chillet is usually a great spot. And then I like this here for a second location because it's more central. It's kind of flat. And there's quite a few dungeons in this area as well to go through and run. Alright, so now we are fully set up here for our base. So what I'm going to go through and do is I'm going to head back to the other base and get everything organized. As we have quite a few items that we will need to go through and transfer over here. I'm going to want this to kind of be the main central location hub for everything that we do. And we'll keep the other base primarily for mining, for our pal expedition stations, that's big and bulky, and possibly even our ranch pals, and we may keep breeding over there as well. I'm not quite sure on that aspect yet. Oh, but we're going to get raided, our very first raid here of the playthrough, so let's deal with that first. Let's throw out our Chillet here. They're all level 13, and I actually want to capture these guys if I can. So I'm going to call him back in. Hopefully we don't die. Yikes, that hurts. There's just too many of them, I think. I want to hit the ones that do not have a lot of health, like this one here. We'll use the ore to dodge the attacks if we can. Oh, gosh, that hurt. Okay, there's one down. I want to farm as many as I can. If it's in a bad situation, though, we'll probably just go through and take them out. Get this one. I missed that one. And this guy here. And then hopefully we capture this one. Make it a lot easier to dodge the rest of the attacks here. Perfect, and we'll go through and use Chillet one more time. Call Chillet back, make this pretty easy for us. Again, we're just utilizing the ore to actually dodge all of Incinerum's attacks. That is not very kind, buddy. These attacks that trace you are pretty crazy. Oh no, I missed. They are still following me here. And, oh, I'm running into Incinerum. Let's not do that. Okay, we got one. And we've got another, so let's throw out the Chillet here. We got 2 copper keys already, which is awesome. And Chillet should help us out here with the raid. Go through and put in some work, my friends. I'm hoping Chillet will freeze him. That would be super handy. Chillet might actually kill him. No. Oh, sad day. I saw that happen. That's alright. But yeah, we went through and got 2 keys, so that's pretty successful. Alright, let me head back to the base, and I'm gonna get to work. Alright, now I got back to the base, and there's 2 primary things I focused on first. One was crafting the mega grappling hook. I also went through and I crafted the glider, since that was something I hadn't crafted so far. But this is gonna be very pivotal in regards to actually transfer items. And then I went through and I placed down 5 chests, and I'm going to break down all 5 of these chests. And the reason being is, these chests, as you can see, I'm getting all the materials back. You've just placed down the blueprints, and the moment you do, it actually uses the resources, and then break them down. And then we're going to go through and actually travel over to our new base location with those materials because they're going to be in our inventory because we just broke those items down. And essentially that's going to allow us to go through and have the materials that we need to craft those same 5 chests in the new location here. Alright, I am back at the main base and I've gone through and replicated the same setup minus the actual really good chest because I just ran out of ingots here. But basically the pals here are going to go through and transport all of my belongings to these chests. And how I'm going to go through and do that is we're going to head up to the main area here. And in this area, we're going to head over to the monitoring stand. Every single pal I actually placed out has the capability of transporting. So for the time being, to help me move, I'm going to disable everything on every pal but the transporting skill. Meaning every single pal is only going to transport items to and from locations. And once we go through and do this, these guys are all fully set up to help me out. Forgot to leave that one on. And they'll defend the base here as well. Meaning these pals are only going to transport items for me. Whoops, I totally disabled those as well. Now all we're going to do, we're going to make things really simple. We're just going to break down everything that we don't need. I'm going to keep the foundations in place. But the pals are going to go through. And I don't think I'll need the bed either. We're just going to break all of this. And the walls. Because we don't need any of this. And then the transporting pals are going to work up here. And they're going to start grabbing items. We'll leave that there because it's actually doing its thing. But while they do that, I'm also going to grab items. My inventory is full. So while they do that, this is why I have the grapple. The grapple is going to allow me to launch myself down. Oops, sadly I shot it too soon here. And I'll be able to actually move over to the chests. Now as you can see, they have all gone up to start gathering my items. And they will work their way back down here with the items. Now I will need to break down some of these other chests. So they only place them here in this, which I will go through and do that now. So let me just get some of the items out of my inventory now. We'll go through and just get everything that's heavy. So the wood's probably a big one, stone and metal. That should free up my weight. And then what we'll do is we'll go over here and we'll break down this chest. So don't place anything in there. I'll pick up what's in there. It's probably heavy. And then I'm going to use this grapple again to get to this chest here. And then they do have mining facilities, but we're going to go through and actually, well, I mean, we could leave these here to be honest. We'll just break them down. So we're going to go through and we're going to break this chest. We've got all the super heavy materials with us here. And my inventory is full, so we're going to then take this grapple, head back over to the chest here. And again, do the exact same thing. So just break everything down in your current chest, and then make sure your pals are just set to transport. Later on in the game, you'll unlock what's called the guild chest, making things super simple and far easier to actually move bases. But early on, this is the best way to actually move from one base to another, especially if you're going to be keeping everything here pretty simplified. So with that being said, it's been about a day already getting everything moved over. I'm now going to head over to the other base and probably spend a couple more in-game days, just kind of developing some sort of process. Again, I will bring you back throughout iterations of the actual process. That way you can kind of see my thought process as I'm designing this build here. Alright, and I am all finished getting the base set up. There's still a few small minor tweaks we may have to make, and a little bit of organization I still have to do with the chests that are right there. But outside of that, the base is coming together really nicely. So first up, on the left-hand side, we've got all of our storage systems. Every single one of these is actually set to private. I learned this tip on a previous progression video that I didn't even know. I thought the private setting actually meant only for players. It clearly tells you also, though, if you set it, that your base pals cannot put any items in here either. Meaning I can go through and set this. Nobody will ever store anything in here. Then when I open it up, I can go through and just leave all these settings checked on, and I can organize it however I would like. So here, basically, I've got everything that's going to sell for a lot of money, or things decorative for clothing. Here's going to be all of the armor that I accumulate. Over here is going to be kind of like the pieces of paper, if you will, or documentation, so training experience, the bounties, ancient pal manuscripts, and then in here we're going to have all of these skill fruits, which we're going to acquire quite a few of those with these skill fruit here. Here we're going to have schematics. On the bottom one here is going to be ammunition. On the top one here has got all of the key items. Middle one, don't have any purpose for it yet. We'll figure that out. Here's going to be more, basically mirroring this. So more of these schematics. This will have more skill fruits because we're going to have a lot. And then this one we've got kind of all of the medicinal items as well. And then moving over here will be all of the weapons. That's going to be armor over there. And then here's going to be all of the extra like production type goods. We might actually move the ingots over there to with the ores located. And then the ranch kind of just thrown down here in the middle. Once we break these three chests down, we'll have just the one here. And on this, you can see that it'll pick up spheres because I'm going to put a Vixie in here. It'll pick up ingredients, and then it'll pick up the PAL materials. I did not put ammo. That way they will take the arrows and store them over in the actual ammo over there. I could leave it here, so maybe they spend less time moving back and forth and I can manually do that. That might be smart. Yeah, let's just do that. That way I can just manually do it, save them some time. And then up here, very simple setup. I've got the wood on the right, with this basically being set just to wood, but that will also include fiber. And then over here is going to be all ore. And I do also have it set to be ingots as well. Stone and ores, and then ingots. So the ingots will be smelted just right over here on this ledge, and then they can bring them and store them right in here. And then once we actually go through and head over to the technology tree, you'll notice at level 24, our next level will unlock the first ore mining site, and it should fit right here in the middle, hanging out just over the edge there. Then I've got a couple of berry crop plots here. I will need to go through and get wheat and accumulate that. And then we've got the mill here and the grinder. And then coming over here, we've got, like I mentioned, where we cook the ore, we cook the food, the actual food box itself, and where they can hang out and restore their sanity. And then on the inside, we've actually got 2 of these running here at once. That way, in the event that I choose to actually work on this, the pals could basically kind of go all in and try and increase a lot of these things. They'll give us passive bonuses here in the base. I believe you can do 2 in the base. I'm not sure. I'm fairly certain you can. I've never actually tried it, so this will be an experiment. I've got all of the workbenches nicely set up over here. Technically, the pals don't need access to this, so I could move that. And one more set up over here. Pretty open, so it's really easy for pals to get in and out. Same thing for here. And then this side is more my personal area, everything that pals do not need access to. So 3 egg incubators. Basically just butchered all of the chillets as it respawned. I just kept taking out chillet to get more ancient civilization parts to build those. Got my skins here, got the statue, and then the monitoring stand and the bed. So yeah, we're looking pretty darn good. Now, a few other details that I did notice while I was here. Of course, the merchant showed up. You do get raided. They all come from this front center area. Pretty much every time it's been Leespunk. And then usually, I think there's been an Incinerum as well. So you will have to be careful if you are using wood. As you can see, I mostly use stone with a little bit of wood. But by the time they even get to the circle, because the area is so flat and open, usually my pals have came running out to actually fight them. And I tend to kill them here before they ever get to my base, which is in the back section of the area. Then another point as well is we are actually right here on the river, meaning there is not one, but there's like 4 different fishing spots. There's one right there. There's one right there. I believe there's another one over there as well, and maybe one more down there. Then there's this little effigy here we can collect, and then just over here you can see on the map, a meteorite drop came in just as I was hanging out here. So we're actually going to head over to that meteorite drop just because I want to see the level of everything over here. And we'll go through and grab this as well. And it might be a prime opportunity to discuss fishing since there's quite a few fishing nodes here. And we've got the base all set up. So let's just head over here and hopefully I have enough stamina. I did not even consider that because, yeah, planning ahead is not my strong suit. Let's see, we should be good. Yes, now the real question is, though, is what level is this? 11. Perfect, so yeah, you should be able to easily do this meteorite drop here without any issues. We'll just toss Chillet on aggressive, and he should take this guy out, and we'll get more oil, more passive buffs here for our player, and possibly even another schematic. So let's see. And that. Oh, I did also get Syndicate Thugs that raided the base too. And basically they just dropped ammo, pal spheres, and gold. So yeah, nothing that wasn't beneficial to us. Open this up. We got a musket schematic 1. Gonna hit more health. We got health on the last drop here as well. And quite a few spheres. So if we open this up, as you can see, go through and increase the health yet again. We've got 400 health just from collecting these in the last 2 episodes. So it's definitely really important you prioritize getting these meteor drops as soon as you can. Alright, so I've brought us over to the other base, and it's basically in shambles in comparison to the other one, but we really only need kind of the basic setup and essentials here. They're going to go through and farm all of the ore that's here, and that's going to be important at least until we could actually beat the next tower to actually get the ore station set up at our current base. They're going to smelt it here as well. They're going to store everything they can here in this chest, or in this chest here for the ranch. And I've got a Vixie set up. I've also got a land ball set up, and then our little flame bell here as well. We are quite heavy just because of the ore we picked up here, but if we look in here, we'll get rid of the ore. As you can see, there's quite a bit of ore in here. There's some flame organs, some arrows, we'll take those as well. And there's probably some spheres laying around that no one's picking up. Yeah, 22 Pal spheres. Not sure why they're not picking those up. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just let them store everything in here. Either way, though, it's got a bunch of spheres, which is definitely handy. And eventually, I will get all of these pals moved over to the other base. I may do that here in just a moment. But yeah, this is pretty much very basic stuff. They're also doing the expeditions over here. I'm going to get the rewards here, but we're not going to send anybody else out. I've also been continuing to do this so I can actually passively farm the ancient civilization parts. So even when I'm not going through and capturing or defeating Chillet or any of the easy alphas, I'll still have a nice passive supply. So we're going to take all of this, and then once we do that, let's actually head back to the other base, and let's release the pals and get everything set up how it should be. Alright, so I don't have too many more options here. I'm not going to throw the Vixie out, by the way, because I've already got 4 different pals here in the ranch. We have 2 Vixies at the other base, so we're just going to leave that as is. And then we're actually going to go through and throw out, I believe we'll do a Lift Monk here. That way Lift Monk kind of help with everything. We'll get them in here. And then we do also have the Tombat, who's got a level 2 in Gathering. And then they can also mine. So we'll just go through and set that up as well, because every one of their passives or job suit abilities is going to be level 2, which will be helpful. And then we're going to want to head over to the monitoring stand to actually make sure they are getting to work here. Looks like our egg is hatched. Let's hatch that. Maybe it'll help us, maybe it won't. We got a Daydream. Definitely not very helpful. Now heading up here, let's take a look. So Chickpea, we just want Chickpea only to make eggs. Mozzarella, just to make us milk. Dumond, we do not want watering since it's level 1. We do not want them mining or transporting. We just want them making high quality pal oil. Same thing for Kelpsy. We just want them here in the ranch. And then for Nightwing, Nightwing is level 2. Just going to be gathering. That's fine. Setamoth, level 2 in planting. And then Medicine, we're not really going to make medicine, so I'll just leave that actually checked. Ictioterra, just going to do lumbering. Grisbolt, electricity. We will want that for electricity when we get electricity. We'll leave that alone. Probably we'll use them for handiwork. Lumbering can be great. And then transporting. You know, let's actually disable lumbering because Ictioterra is literally not going to leave. We just want them to transport and do handiwork. So they're going to be non-stop moving, essentially. Level 3 in watering. And then Tombat, for the first Tombat, we'll keep on gathering. And then we're going to go through and keep on. I don't think we have any other mining pals, so we'll make this one just one dedicated Tombat for mining. And then the second Tombat, we will go through and keep everything on. So they'll transport, they'll gather, and they'll help mine. And then for Lift Monk, we'll keep them on for planting. Handiwork, yeah, that should be fine. And then we do not need them for lumbering. And then medicine should be fine. So now our base is pretty well set up. I think that was all 12 pals. Let me just double check. I'm pretty certain it was all 12. Oh, we need pal beds. Totally spaced that. Totally forgot. That's why I had not dropped them out yet. Let me go through and get some pal beds created here real quick, and then we'll go through and head out. All right, so I've gone through and I got the beds crafted and placed them here on the other side of the base. Now, I could have placed them a little bit closer, but I placed them here because there's an ore node that I wanted to stop respawning, because some of the pals were coming to either mine it or pick up the different pieces from it. And I technically could disable mining on the second Tombat to prevent that from happening, but I do still want him to kind of mine in his off time, especially as I do get that ore station. We just unlocked level 24, so being able to go through and actually build this once we complete this next tower, I want to have a second mining pal here in the space, because most likely we'll get rid of the other base that we have once that actually happens. So yeah, I just basically got rid of the ore node because it was driving me crazy. Now, I want to go through and head out and actually take down some of the other pals, and at level 24 you do unlock the makeshift handgun, which uses coarse ammunition. However, from the drop that we just got just a couple moments ago, we actually managed to get a 1400 musket. So I'm going to go through and craft this up, and we're going to test this out in some of the alpha pals in the general area, just to kind of see how effective it is, and hopefully help us get a little bit more geared up for the next tower boss. Alright, so I've gone through and I've managed to craft the musket. It took literally forever, and look at this beautiful thing. Hopefully it actually packs a punch and was worth it. Now, kind of here's my thought process and what I'm thinking. I want to go through and take down Azarobi again. We already have one at the base. I don't want to disrupt the flow at the base. I need that one constantly making crops. We need the flower production to get going so we can go fishing. We need fishing so we can actually get passives for breeding, so we can go through and basically get stronger down the road. But I want to get a second Azarobi so we can breed them together to get a smaller version at the base. And then additionally, we're going to use it to help take down Bushi, who's going to be a pretty challenging fire pal, and water is going to be its basically weakness. And then we're going to use Bushi once it's leveled up, maybe in a couple more levels, to actually take down Lily and Lylene, our second tower boss. Bushi is a fantastic pal, definitely one of my top 5 favorite. He's not the strongest pal anymore, but he's a lot of fun to use. So that's the thought process. We're also going to go through and I think we'll take out the turncoat, kind of as a test to see just how powerful this weapon is, as landing headshots on it was probably going to be a little bit easier than landing a headshot on Azarobi. So with that, let's test this bad guy out. Let's go through and see. If these guys don't move, I'm sure we'll do a lot of damage. Oh, he's coming. Oh my goodness, 3,000 damage. We'll let Serpent just take these guys out. Wow, that really messed him up. All right, so where is Turncoat then? I think he's down here. Oh, he's going to attack the male pack, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Let's actually try and capture these. Oh, well, that didn't happen. We'll go for one more here. If he gets one more hit, maybe. Come on, get one more attack on this fella. Okay, we're just going to go for the sphere. Oh, it bounced off him. My goodness, what are you doing? There we go. All right, let's pull the Surfing away, and then I want to see... He's just standing there. He wants to get shot. Yeah, we do have to reload. Let's see how much this does to the Turncoat, though. It does take a hot minute, so it's not exactly the fastest weapon, but it should pack a punch. Wow. He's just standing there, too. Almost 1,000 damage. Oh, yeah. That feels really, really good. So definitely not the fastest weapon. What I'm thinking is if we can get a fast rate of fire weapon, we could go through and basically put the crossbow away because it's also a one-shot slow fire. So if we can get a fast rate of fire and then have the musket as kind of a backup, really hefty, powerful punch, that would be awesome. Let's dismount and see if we can get a headshot to kind of just start this fight off, and then we'll probably switch over to a pal. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to let Chillet try to freeze it one more time to make capturing it easier, but if he does too much damage, I may have to put Chillet away. 280. Yeah, Chillet doesn't do too much. Come on, buddy. Pull off the freeze attack, my friend. Yikes. Okay, if it doesn't freeze, Chillet's got to go. Sorry, bud. Alright, hopefully this will actually catch it, and then if it gets a decent passive, then we're really in business. Chillet's Trust rose to level 4. Please have a good passive. That would be super handy. Insulated body. Definitely not. Alright, so I am back at the base here, and we're going to go through and just level up our Azorobi just a little bit, the best that we can. I'm hoping for, yeah, that should be pretty close to what we need. And then we're also going to teach it Acid Rain. And then we'll head over to this and inspect it, and we'll go through and get rid of the Dragon Burst here for Acid Rain. It's got 3 very powerful water moves, and then I don't think we will... Oh, actually, if we ride it, our attack gets changed to water. That may actually be worth it. Let's head over here. Oh, the saddle is right here. What do we need to make the saddle? I keep calling it a saddle. It is 100% a harness. That is my Arc game talking here. Let's go through and see what we need to make this. Oh, we can make it. Right on. Yeah, I'm going to go through and get this crafted up, and then we're going to head over to Bushi. Alright, so I did just get over to the area with Bushi, but I did find a Vanworm, and I really want to add this to our team here. Oh, that missed somehow. Let's just let's use a crossbow here. There we are. A little bit easier to land, it seems like. Vanworm is an excellent pal for transporting, and they're also a really good flyer as well. And you do increased headshot damage, I do believe, when you're mounted, so very, very good pal. Hopefully this will land, 70-80%. I did not think about these spheres for capturing Bushi. That might actually be an issue. Oh, we're good, okay. And we're going to head on into Bushi. Bushi does teleport. That's the only part we have to be a little bit careful of. He's obviously... Ooh, can I get... let's see, command mine. If he doesn't look at me, can I use my weapon while mounted? I think I can, right? Yes. Okay, let me see. If I can land a headshot. Oh, I only got 130, and that wasn't a headshot. Darn. Yeah. If I can land a headshot with the water damage here, that would do a lot of damage. Let's hide behind this rock here. Oh, he teleported. Shoot. We might have to be a little careful here. A little hard to line up. 292, not bad. Alright, let me hop off and just let it do its thing. And then I'll try and hide over here. Actually, it does a lot of damage, so we have to be very careful. And my armor's already damaged too. Yikes. Oh yeah, I feel like just letting it do its thing might just be the safer bet. And then if it goes to attack like that... Oh god, holy hell. Oh, that was really bad. We need to, like, kill this ASAP or we're gonna die. If we don't kill it, yeah, we're gonna die. Shoot. Oh boy. If he focuses me, I'm dead. Shoot, he's gonna focus me, I think. Okay, yep. He's focusing on my pal again. Oh, I killed him! No! Oh, I wasn't paying attention to his health. Yikes. Alright, well, we We unfortunately kind of failed there to capture it, but my goodness, did you see how much damage he did to me? That was crazy. I was kind of a little scared. Well, that does set us back a little bit because we didn't get that capture. That is very, very unfortunate, actually. We can easily go through and breed a Bushi, but I was trying not to breed quite yet. Let's see what else is in the area. I can't believe he damaged our armor that fast. We do have a... yeah, that's too high, and that's too high. Oh, there is the Swee, though. You know what? Let's head over to the Swee. That way it'll be the 5th alpha. I think that's 5 alphas, right? We went through and got Chillet, Pen King. We could also do King Paka, technically. We've got this one, this one. Yeah, if we get this pal here, it'll be the 5th alpha. Meaning we can head back to the village to hopefully get another reward as well. Alright, so I headed back to base to go through and repair my gear, and then I've made my way over to the island with the Swee on it. I do want to try and catch this Rabani, as I don't have them yet, unless Dire Howl's going to probably eat it. Okay, we'll just capture him, I guess. I was not trying to kill this, but I feel like if I shoot it, I might kill it. Yeah, especially in the head. Yikes. Can I just get a Pal Sphere maybe and get lucky? It did not capture it. Shoot. We don't have one of these yet. That would definitely be handy to get, to go through and help our experience. Oh, I'm getting juked hardcore. I feel played. Let's go through and take out these Dire Howl. Grab you. We'll grab you. And then, how many Dire Howl do we have? I actually don't know. I want to go basically just get the 12 for all the experience. Okay, that's our first one of these. Whoa! Why does he look like that? Why is he all shiny? Oh, maybe it's just his move. That's weird. Okay. So, all that was 12 out of 12. We don't need to capture anymore. Alright, well, this one looked cool. And we got that one. Right on. So, let's head over to get Swee now. Here's the Swee. Yay. Alright. I am fairly certain we will kill this in like one shot. Maybe two. Hopefully not. Yeah, okay, that's good. Hopefully that's a catch. We'll go with that one. Oh, we have to hit it again. I'm going to use the pickaxe because I don't want to kill it. Oh, we can probably use a pal then. Oh, we're going to take a lot of damage. That's for sure. Come on, Azarobi. Get some damage done, buddy. Thank you. Oh, no! Oh, it is not my lucky day today. Alright, well... try not to die over here. If it's going to use Acid Rain, okay, let's pull that back. And then we'll go for... the musket's going to kill him. We use the crossbow. Hopefully we don't kill them. We did kill them. Wonderful. I guess we're just going to stick with the pickaxe here. This thing is a little fast, little fella. Yeah, we're going to just melee attack it so we can capture more. That's really unfortunate that we died to the... you know what, I think actually, even though we killed it, I think if we kill it or capture it, I believe either one should actually net us the reward. I don't believe we have to capture them. Let me just get this chest real quick. There we are. And then we'll actually just head on back the same direction that we came, and we'll head over to the village here real quick. Alright, we are over at the village here, and there's actually 2 quests we want to check in on. This one here is actually for capturing pals. We got a little bit of experience in the Might Remedy. And we completed another one, got training manuals and some more experience. The Stout Fruit. I need to catch 2 more to actually finish the next portion of his quest. And then if we head down to this guy just over here, the guy with the cool looking mask. This should be the guy I want to talk to here. Training manual. Oh, that's all he gave us. Alright, well I think at this point in time, this is a great place to go through and stop. So hope you all enjoyed today's video. And if you are enjoying this series, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing to see more. I will see you all later.